Inspired Coach podcast and the Coach's Couch. I am so happy to have you here for this episode. And I've got some notes today because I've got some really important things to share with you. And I want to make sure that absolutely everything that I can give you about this particular topic, I do. So I'm not going to completely wing it. I've got some things in front of me to make sure that I get everything out and off the couch and into your ears, hearts, minds, and souls today about the topic of how to write an award-winning submission. Now, this particular topic is coming to you from the Coach's Couch at this time for a very specific reason, and that is because very soon, within the next couple of weeks, the awards season for the Beautiful You Coaching Academy is going to begin. And we are going to be receiving nominations from our alumni from all over the world for our 2023-2024 awards season. But there's something very, very important that I want to let you know right from the start of this episode. And that is that you do not have to be a Beautiful You coach or even a coach to get benefit out of this episode. Everything that I am going to be sharing here today is going to be relevant to any of you who may be a coach, a business owner, an entrepreneur, someone that someday might like to submit a nomination for yourself to win an award of some kind, whether it be for you as a coach, whether it be for your business, your podcast, your program, relevant to everybody. Okay, so this is not specific just to our awards, but I know that you're going to find it helpful if you're ever thinking about applying for any award. Now, I also want to give you the heads up that you might find some of the things that I share with you today about how to write a winning award submission to be very simple and very basic. And I am here to let you know that that is exactly what they are. And I make no apology whatsoever for that being the case. Why? Well, it's because we see here at the Academy, when we are judging our awards, I also come to you as a very experienced judge, having been a part of judging panels for other businesses in the both profit and not-for-profit and charity and community sector before. We see these issues. I've seen these issues time and time again. And so even though they may seem simple and they may seem straightforward, I have seen evidence many times whereby they've not been paid attention to. And often it is the simplest and most straightforward things that actually have the most potency and the most power to be able to deliver an amazing experience of someone reading your nomination and learning all about you. So today you are going to be getting some inside word around what you really need to pay attention to get your award nomination noticed and become a finalist, win all the things. Okay, so let's get down to it. So first things first, before you do anything with a nomination form for an award, please make sure that you read through that nomination form in full and the web page from where it's been linked from and any frequently asked questions that may have been included as a part of that awards opportunity. Read them all. Even read the FAQs that you think aren't relevant to you. Read every single part of everything, slowly, carefully, and without distraction. And if you need to read them over and over again a number of times to fully take things on board, do so. Because you need to ensure that you know everything that is being asked of you before you actually start to fill anything out. So get yourself grounded with absolutely everything about the awards that you're being asked for, the lot. Okay, that is the very best and first place for you to begin. Then my next suggestion to you is from there, once you have an idea of the lay of the land, what's going on, what you're being asked for, then is the time to actually step away from that form and that information and completely look over your website, your social media presence, everything that can be possibly publicly seen by a judging panel, and check and double check that absolutely everything about your online presence that has relevance to the award that you are submitting for is as great as it can be. And that in particular, that there is nothing missing, there is nothing broken, there is nothing out of date. Check your Instagram bio, check your link trees, check your about page, your contact page. Is everything linking up? Are your little social media icons on your website, are they all linking to where they should be linking? This is a perfect time to clean Virtual House. It is an amazing opportunity for you to get your website and your social digital footprint and online presence in order. Just get it all zhuzhed up, set and sorted. And we need to pay attention to these things at times other than awards opportunities. But believe me when I tell you, you just never know when a link, a look, a page, anything by a judge checking you out, going a bit deeper in what it is that you're nominating yourself for is going to be deeply important. And if they hit something and come across a broken link, you cannot assume that they're then going to start to dig further for it. Okay, I see, for example, people have social media icons on their websites all the time that go to broken links or go to accounts that say this account doesn't exist anymore. That's the sort of stuff I'm talking about. Get that sorted. Okay, so step away from the nomination form, look at your big picture, look at how your online presence is tracking, and sort house. Okay, get it all zhuzhed up, clean, clear, crisp, working, making sure that absolutely everything is current and up to date and is really, truly reflective of where you are right now. Then it's time to come back to the submission and nomination form for whatever it is that you're applying for. My next piece of advice for you is before you fill out that submission and nomination form, have a look at absolutely everything that you are being asked to gather together and get it together before you start filling out the form. Get all of that information together first and have everything at hand so it is as near to you and easily accessible as possible. And a further big tip, and whenever I've applied for an award or I've nominated someone else for an award, this is something that I have done to give myself space and grace to really be able to track things carefully and apply out a submission or a nomination form carefully. I have looked at all the questions that have been asked of me in that nomination form, and I have copied and pasted them into a document offline. And then I have taken my time with answering all of those questions in that doc, paying attention to word count, if there is a word count for anything, and getting it all in another separate doc first, rather than trying to just type and fill something out. Because while there will be some exceptions to this, most submission and nomination forms are not necessarily going to allow you to save something and come back to it later. They're going to require you to fill it out in one sitting. Okay. And so copying the questions, putting them in a separate doc for yourself, and taking your time to actually set that out somewhere else first before copying and pasting it into the actual form, the online form, is a really smart thing to do. Now, this one is a big one. And if I'm being really honest with you all, I'm going to say that this is one that often shocks judges, shocks reviewers of submissions, shocks anybody that is looking at a submission or a nomination form for an award. Please make sure that you take up the space that is given to you. If you are given 200 words to answer a question, please don't answer that question in 20 words or less, or 35, or 47, or 62. Take up as much space as you possibly can in any question that is asked of you in an award submission form. If you are given 300 words to answer something and you give 18 words, 22 words, 30 words, you are absolutely rolling the dice there. You are giving a judge and a judging panel barely anything to go on to be able to see you. It is not their job to have to go on a big mystery hunt to find out more information about you. It is your job to give that information through the submission form, through the award nomination to the judges, to make their job of reviewing what you are submitting as easy, simple, and straightforward as possible. So the more information that you can give them about you, the better. This is particularly important if you are ever asked questions such as, tell us about the major achievements of X, or why should you win this award? Just think about this for a moment. If you are given 250 words to answer that question, why should you win this award? And you give a 25-word answer, a tenth of what you've been given permission to give, what sort of impression do you think that leaves on a judge and a judging panel? Not a good one. Not a good one. Okay? You're being given all of this space to put your best foot forward, and you're only taking the tiniest amount of it. So don't do that to yourself. Take up the space that you're permitted and given in any form. And while no one's suggesting that you waffle or put in superfluous information, and you don't have to get it exactly at the word count, please make sure you give some real depth. Because if a submission form is giving you hundreds of words to be able to answer in, that means that is a sign that judging panel is saying, we want more information here, and we're going to make sure that we create the conditions for you to give that to us. And then it's your job to give that to them. Okay? So that is a really, really important one. I have seen people make this mistake before, and then a judging panel is left going, well, what have we got to go on here? Not a lot. And that then makes it really hard for you to be compared to others and to be a part of this. So don't make assumptions that people know. It's just really important, or that they should know. You could have the most brilliant offering, be the most brilliant coach, entrepreneur, business owner, whatever it is that you're submitting for an award. And yet, if you don't create the conditions and put your best foot forward to that, a judging panel is going to find that very hard to see. Okay, so keep all of that in mind. This next one is also incredibly important. Please be aware that if you submit an awards nomination form where anything that you've been asked for is missing, there are errors in your submission, passwords are wrong if those are required, dates don't line up, or there's anything that is just not right about it from a factual perspective, or that's been asked to be seen and isn't present, that is going to see your submission automatically be put to the side and not necessarily, in fact, the overwhelming majority of times, not have anyone follow up with you to get the right information. Any organisation or business that is holding an awards season does not usually have the time or the capacity to follow up with entrants in this way. And also, very importantly, it does open a door whereby the doing of something like that, like following up with people to get right information or more information from someone, can actually be perceived as that entrant receiving specific and extra support from the very organisation that is judging them, which is then not fair on everybody else. This is something at the Beautiful You Coaching Academy that in the first years of our awards, we had the capacity that if someone submitted something and a link was broken, or a password was wrong, or information was missing from a form, we had the capacity to be able to follow up with somebody to let them know that and request it. We no longer have that capacity. We are only able to judge every single nomination and entry that we receive as it comes to us. And so please know, if something is wrong, missing, or omitted from your application, you will be judged only on what can be seen. Or if something is missing entirely, then potentially not at all. And so the very best thing that you can do to support yourself with this is, again, we come back, taking things slowly, reading over everything carefully, checking links, spelling. Have you followed the instructions? Passwords working? All of those things. Did you take the opportunity to put it on a separate form to just help yourself, just get it all there together? And if this is not your strong suit, attention to detail and really making sure with these sorts of things, and we know that it's not the case with everybody, it's not everyone's skill set, get someone to look over it for you. Ask for a pal, a mate, a friend, a family member that you feel is maybe better with that skill, or even just to get them to double check and send it to them and say, can you please tell me, is everything here working? Does that password and access email work for this? Is there anything broken? Is there anything grammatically, spelling, anything I've missed? Please let me know. Get someone to help you. That's such a smart thing to do if you're not sure or you think you might need that extra support. This then feeds into the last thing that I want to share with all of you, because I'm sure you've probably realized this. If not, you're about to, as something that is really, really important when submitting for any award, if you want to put into place all of the things that I've just talked about to make sure everything is great, please do not leave the submission of an entry like this until the final days, or worse still, the final minutes of when a nomination is due. This is 100% where mistakes happen, things get rushed, or even a deadline can be missed. And believe me when I tell you, please believe me when I tell you, a rushed application more often than not can be seen. It can just be seen by the judging panel. It can be seen in the way that it's been pulled together. It's more often than not really clear when someone has rushed something, which then in turn does not actually present well to a judging panel. And if it's one thing that I want for you all, for anybody that is listening that submits for any kind of award in the future, it's that what you put forward be received well, no matter what happens with it from there. Now, the final thing that I want to share with you all today in this episode of Inspired Coach is not so much about how to write an award-winning submission, because I've given you all my best tips there. Again, I know you're probably thinking, oh, they're so simple, Julie. And yes, they are. But also, we see them time and time again as judges be things that people get wrong, really wrong. And so it just seems to stand to reason that it's a good thing to share with you all. The final thing that I want to share with you is, why should you even bother? You know, if you have the opportunity to apply for an award, why should that be something that you should seriously contemplate doing as a coach, a consultant, a business owner of any kind? Oh my gosh, where do I start? There are so many reasons why submitting for an award, no matter whether you become a finalist or you win or whatever may happen with it, is just such a good thing for anyone to do. The first thing is that it really does act as a catalyst for you to clean up your digital home and your digital footprint. Never could there be a better excuse than to get your website and socials present all crisp and clean and beautiful and up to date than when you're putting your best foot forward in submitting an award. It is the perfect time to clean house and to get all of that updated, because an online business, a website, is just like a home. It's just like a physical office. They need cleaning. They need updating. They require attention. And this is a really wonderful excuse to do that and get everything really aligned and up to date and current, as a wonderful reflection of where you are currently at. The next reason that it is so wonderful to apply for an award is because it quite literally forces you to stop, to look at your journey, to pay attention to where it is that you have come from, what you've achieved, what you've done, the tangibles of your own growth and things that you have put out to the world. Oh, so much. And it is such a celebratory thing for any coach and any business owner to do, to really, really look at the achievements of your podcast or book or event, or just you, just in inverted commas, your own coaching business. That is such a wonderful thing to do. It allows you to take stock and really celebrate yourself and all the hard work that you've done. And it doesn't matter whether you win something, become a finalist or not. Just the gathering together of that information is so powerful and such a wonderful thing for you to hold on to and do for yourself. Because when you work by yourself, which often many coaches do, there's nobody else that does this for you. You have to do it for you, and it's such a great thing to do. And then, of course, the other wonderful reasons why it is so fabulous to submit for an award, to put yourself forward, is if you do have the opportunity whereby you are then chosen as a finalist and or a winner, the exposure that it can give you is extraordinary. You know, we have seen some of our coaches win awards and then get considerable media attention as a result of that, which is absolutely brilliant. And exactly what it is that we want for them and more. You're also, from that day onwards, if you become a finalist, you can say that you're, you know, a finalist forever in a particular international award or national award. If you win, you can say you're an award-winning coach, that your podcast is award-winning, your book is award-winning. Oh, that is just golden when it comes to your work. It truly, truly is. And so honestly, I can sit here with my hand on my heart and say that I do not believe that there is one poor reason why anybody should not, if what they are doing is relevant and aligned for a particular category in a particular award, to not do it. I just think that they are an amazing thing to do for yourself, regardless of the outcome. And if you happen to get one of those wonderful outcomes, well, that's amazing too. You might get a certificate, a trophy, you may win money. Goodness only knows what might happen with, award prizes that you might win. But regardless of whether you win something or not, the actual process of nominating yourself is the most significant thing. It is such a celebratory thing for you to do. It is such an amazing catalyst to get your digital footprint and everything about your business up to date and aligned. And it's also an amazingly reflective, beautiful thing for you to do as well as a solo business owner, to really, really take stock of the journey that you're on and the achievements that you are achieving. Doesn't matter. You will notice whether those achievements are big, small, in between, because, you might think that something is not that big of a deal, but in fact, it may be to a judging panel. When they look at it, when they view it, they may see things that even you don't. And so don't judge yourself. Just, allow things to happen. If it is relevant for you to apply for an award, put yourself forward. It is such a great thing to do. So everyone, I hope that this has been really, really helpful for any award submission that you are thinking about putting yourself forward for. As I mentioned at the start of this episode, the Beautiful You Coaching Academy, we have our awards season coming up very soon, and we really hope to see so many awards nominations submitted. Remember the things that I've said in this episode. Don't leave things to the last minute. Take up all the space that you're given. Check everything over and over again, and really, really take your time to immerse into it. I also want to add in here as well something that's just coming to me before I sign off. And so I want to just honor this intuitive hit and share it with you all. And that is, please remember that many people who may be reviewing your application either don't know you at all, or if they do know you, only certain aspects of you. Please don't make assumptions about what it is that the judging panel may think about you, or what it is that they need to see. Give a judging panel tangibles. Make sure when you're speaking to things like what you've achieved and what you've done, that you can show proof for that, that you give evidence, that you link to testimonials, that you show us the downloads of your podcast, that you show us where those reviews are, that you guide us to where we can see reviews from your book, photographs of your event, tangibles. Give a judging panel tangible. So that one's it's just kind of landed really hard with me before I finished up here. So don't forget that as well. And really what this is all about is I encourage you to think about, how can I make it easy for someone to truly see all of me, all of this book, all of this podcast, all of this event, all of this retreat, whatever it is that you are putting forward. How can I make a panel, a judge, how can I make someone see me with as much ease and clarity as possible? Because when you do that, you will have a submission on your hands that a judge is going to sit up and take notice of. Okay, because it's going to be easy for them. It's going to be flowing. Everything's going to be connected and working, and they're going to be able to see you in your fullest light. So give your fullest light, take up that space, give tangibles, and don't leave it until the last minute. Okay? Don't leave it until the last minute. See the time frame that you've got and start working on it straight away, and get it in as soon as you can, so you don't have to worry about that deadline in any way. All the best, everyone. I wish you all the very, very best for any award that you may submit this year into the future for anything at all that you're wanting to be recognised for.